Paul started saying that it's a good thing that you have this center. You have a large room here, hall, that you can make use of for practicing the Dhamma. The next thing is to establish your own routines, your own routine of regular practice, both as a group, say making use of the hall to come together to meet, to practice regularly, then also in your own individual lives to keep your own routines going. So you might have your own routine where you practice at least once a day, do some chanting, meditate, listen to Dhamma and so on. And this is the way we can grow in the Dhamma, grow in the practice through regular effort, regular attention to the practice. What we have to develop as we do this regular practice is the quality of, particularly the quality of mindfulness, quality of knowing, meaning knowing oneself from moment to moment through our day. This quality of bringing your attention to the present moment, know what am I doing now, where am I going, what am I doing. It's this quality of looking after our own minds. We need to bring this up a lot, develop this a lot. Because in the beginning of practice we tend to be a little bit scattered, unsure of ourselves, not quite sure what is right, what is wrong, good and bad, and so on. A bit like a child. When you bring up a child in the early years of their life, you really have to spend time looking after them, looking out for them, because they're not fully able to depend on themselves yet. They sometimes act in careless ways, or they just don't understand things, so they make mistakes, or they can get into trouble very easily. So we have to develop this quality of mindful knowing of what we're doing regularly, all the time. One of the things that will help and that you can benefit from, say in this centre, is hearing the Dhamma, hearing the teachings regularly. And the teachings give us that guidance, remind us what we have to do, give us the guidance. Just like anything you learn in the world, say any subject that you learn, say at university or any kind of learning institution, when you begin, you're totally dependent on hearing that subject from your teachers, listening to lectures and so on. You can't possibly know the subject from the first day. You have to listen and learn over time. And Dhamma is the same. If we listen to Dhamma regularly, then we start to gain an understanding of what we're doing, what the value of the Dhamma is, the benefit of it. And this helps us to keep putting the mind back to the practice, and then developing this quality of mindfulness in all postures and all times. So it's not like you only practice Dhamma when you're doing your formal sitting meditation or chanting and that's the end of it. When you finish that, you stop. You make every part of your activity, daily activities in your life, part of the practice. So that means, say, just when you're walking, well, that's part of the practice, the posture of walking. So Luang has a few books here to give to you, Walking with Awareness. You're developing awareness, self-awareness as you walk, whether it's formal walking meditation or just walking around this building or your home or walking in the street. At all these different times you can take your posture of walking as a foundation for developing mindfulness, being mindfully aware of your posture. And similarly with sitting, with lying down as well. So he expresses his happiness seeing you all here, wants to give you encouragement in your practice, and he encouraged you to take this foundation of mindfulness as the heart of your practice, and then developing those qualities that help us to live together in harmony, in a sense of harmlessness, based on the teaching Sabba Papasa Akaranang that he taught last night. abandoning all unwholesome behavior. So it's unwholesome thoughts, unwholesome speech, unwholesome actions, as a basis for learning to live together harmoniously with other people. So that means giving up any thought of having conflict with others, getting at other people, competing with other people, all the kind of negative thoughts we might have towards other people. We're learning to let go of them, abandon them, and bringing up the opposite, a sense of kindness, compassion, tolerance towards others. And we'll find that this is very good for us and good for our mental health, and it brings a great sense of harmony in the community, whether it's the group of people here who come to practice, whether it's in our families, our workplaces. If we keep developing these qualities of harmlessness, generosity, compassion towards others, this is not only a cause for our happiness, but this is the fruit of the practice as well. When you practice mindfulness and you're letting go of the negative states of mind, well, it's the natural fruit of the practice that arises is that your mind becomes more compassionate, more kind towards others. So we take the basis of our practice, developing mindful awareness in all postures, standing, sitting, walking, lying down. If we do this, then we have that sense of continuously developing our practice, continuously bringing up self-awareness to guard over the mind, to help prevent the mind from falling into unwholesome states that will cause us suffering, and bring up a sense of heedfulness in whatever we're doing. And this sense of heedfulness is supported particularly by the qualities of hiri ottappa. Hiri means sense of shame, ottappa means intelligent fear, the consequences of wrongdoing. So it brings up a sense of taking care in whatever we're doing in our lives, looking after them. We call these qualities lokabala, they're like the guardians of the world. So it's that sense of these internal guardians guarding over our behaviour, whatever we're thinking, whatever we're doing, watching out for us with concern, aware that we can cause suffering for ourselves and others, so we have to be careful and on our guard. It's not the same as just worry. When you just worry, it's not what these qualities refer to. They refer to a wholesome, skillful state of mind where one is just being heedful, attentive, careful of what one's doing. And these are supportive of the deepening of one's practice of mindfulness. One can't really develop a deep state of peace coming from the continuous presence of mindfulness without the presence of hiri ottappa there to support it. We have to have that sense of understanding what is good, what is bad, what is good, what is evil, and really be acting accordingly. So avoiding evil, abandoning evil, and developing the good. And as we do that, then the mind becomes more and more peaceful inwardly. But this peace isn't just a temporary good feeling or something more superficial like that. It's actually a quality that goes very deep into the heart, and it's based on all-round understanding and knowing of the way things are, and accepting the way things are. That means accepting both the pleasant and unpleasant experiences of life. Accepting in the heart these worldly dhammas that we have to come into contact with on a daily basis. So just as there is gain, sometimes there's loss. Just as there's praise, sometimes there's blame and criticism. Just as we gain status and prestige and power, sometimes we lose that. Just as we experience different kinds of happiness, we also can have different kinds of pain or unhappy experiences. This deepening of our mindfulness allows the mind to move to a different level, a new level of unshakability, where it's unwavering, it's not affected by these worldly dhammas, it can accept them, but is not affected by them. And some people see this as, or look at this as though it must be something negative, where you're just kind of maybe just weak and just accepting things because you can't do anything anyway. But it's not that. This is accepting with understanding, just understanding the way things are and keeping the mind in a state of balance or equanimity. One knows, oh, this is the way things are, there are these pleasant experiences, there are these unpleasant experiences, and not letting them ruffle the mind or bring the mind to any kind of suffering. You know, this is the deeper kind of peace that we're aiming for in the practice, and we can all do it. We can all develop this if we keep practicing. And if we keep using this quality, hiriyottappa, looking after the mind, then it's what will help keep us on the straight and narrow path to enlightenment. Rather like somebody who's driving a car or a vehicle somewhere to a destination, you have to keep driving that car properly, you have to follow the route, you have to keep to the driving code, drive in the proper way, and then you'll be able to reach your destination as you wish for. If you were heedless or careless in the way you drove, or you drove in a way that you just didn't look after follow the law or the driving codes, then you could easily end up in disaster. So if we train ourselves with mindfulness and hiriyottappa, then these qualities will bring us to the fruit, the result of the practice that we are seeking for, and Luang wishes that all for you. So Luang gives his thanks to you all for giving him the convenience of the 4 requisites, a place to stay, food and lodgings for the night. And he says if there's a chance in the future, if his health allows, then maybe he'll be able to meet you again sometime. But for now, he's very satisfied with how you've looked after the monks coming here to visit. This quality patisanta is like knowing how to look after guests and be willing to share what one has with guests. This is something the Buddha encouraged us to do, to practice, and we've done that well. He expresses his appreciation for the good that you're doing. For these books, if you'd like a book.